Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Jim. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking about posture, so please stay tuned. Alright, thank you for joining me here. So before we get into posture, I want to talk briefly about 2020 and how that has contributed to poor posture. So 2020 that caused a lot of issues in our society. So one of the things that it did was it caused a lot of closures of businesses, workplaces, schools. So when those closed, people had to resort to working from home, going to school from home, and that caused a lot of people to sit. So they had to sit more than they ever did before. Now, sitting isn't the problem, it's the amount of sitting that is the problem. I'm not talking about people who are sitting 10, 15 minutes a day using their phones, their iPads, their tablets, whatever mobile devices they're using. I'm talking about people who are sitting hours and hours throughout the day, all right? And they're doing this day after day. So those are the people that are going to have this poor posture. Now, the reason why you get this poor posture is because uh, our body is so good at adapting, right? So it's very good at sitting, and I don't mean that in a good way. I mean it's very good at adapting in using less certain muscles and allowing your body to move forward, allowing your body to have that what's called the forward head posture. So you tend to slouch a lot more if you're sitting for longer periods. And if you're not having your mobile devices, laptop, whatever at eye level, you tend to look down and that just naturally makes your head go forward. So with the forward head posture, what that can cause is that can cause you to have more headaches, can cause you to have muscle fatigue along your neck area, and it can cause you to be more stressed, have more stress in that area. And then again, with the muscles and the ligaments fatiguing, that's gonna have an effect on the ability of your muscles and your ligaments to protect your spine. So that's gonna be a problem too. So the spine is all connected. It's not just going to affect your neck, it's going to affect your upper back and your lower back too. So, a lot of people who have poor posture, they also have, they don't always, but I have seen this where they have a an increased curve in their upper back. So, that's called a Dowweiger's hump or a buffalo hump. And sometimes people can even have fatty tissue that deposits there. So that is caused by poor posture. And then moving down to your lower back, what can happen is you have that anterior pelvic tilt. So your with the anterior pelvic tilt, your lower back is gonna arch. It's gonna have the bigger curve than it usually does. Or you can have what's called a flat back or a posterior and pelvic tilt. So you can have one or the other. And with all of those, obviously, it's going to affect your whole body. It's going to give you increased stress, going to have you fatigue a lot faster, and you're just going to feel more tired in general. And again, with all of these, they tend to worsen. They don't fix itself unless you're doing something physically to change it. So I'll show you how it looks like. All right. So with poor posture, you're going to have that forward head posture, that rounded shoulder. You're going to have the protruding abdomen, and sometimes either you're going to have that pelvic tilt, anterior pelvic tilt, or you're going to have that flattening of your pelvic area there. So that's kind of the poor posture right there. All right. Now, good posture obviously is the opposite of all that. Your head's going to be high, shoulders are going to be back, chest is up, flattened abdomen, and your pelvic is more neutral. So that's the difference between poor posture and good posture.
I'm going to talk about 5 exercises that you can do to help yourself. All right, so the first exercise is for your pec muscles. A lot of times when you're in that sitting position, what happens is you get that rounded shoulder I was talking about, right? So that's because your pec muscles tighten up, so they pull the shoulders in. Now to stretch those muscles out, we're going to be using a door, okay? So this is all you're gonna do. You're gonna put your arms at 90 degrees. So that's gonna be how it's gonna go against the frame of the door. And you're just gonna step one leg forward, doesn't matter which one, and you're just gonna slightly press into it. So you get that good stretch across your chest here. So this is how it looks like. And then you're just going to hold that for about 15 to 45 seconds, and you're just going to do that maybe 3 to 5 times depending on how it feels, okay? And obviously with any pain throughout any of these exercises, you would definitely want to stop. All right, so the next exercise is called chin tucks. Now this exercise is going to target your anterior neck muscles, because those muscles, they tend to get weak when you get that forward head posture. And it's also going to be stretching the back of your neck muscles a little bit too, so you'll feel both of those. And now this exercise, I want you to keep in mind, is just little movements. It's not a huge movement, and I'll show you that too. So this is how it looks like. I'm going to do it from the side. So first thing you want to do is get into that good posture, and you're basically just gonna tuck your chin back. It's just gonna look like that. And it helps to use a hand to push back on the chin. So you're just gonna tuck back and then relax. Back and relax. And actually I want you to hold it for 3 seconds and then relax. And you're just gonna do that for 10-15 times, depending on how you feel again. And you can always also do this while you are laying on the ground. But if you lay on the ground, make sure you use a towel, put it on the top of your head here, so you have that room to tuck your chin in. And you can also do it standing up. I'm doing this sitting down, so you can do standing up, laying on the ground, against the wall is very useful too. So a couple different ways you can do this. And again, you want to do this for hold it for 3 seconds and do about 10-15 times, and do this daily too. All right, so this next exercise is going to target your erector spinae muscle. So that's the muscle that goes along your upper back all the way down to your lower back. And we're going to stretch that muscle throughout the whole spine here. So the exercise is called a modified child's pose. So I'll show you how it is. I'm using a chair here. You can use a bench, the edge of the bed, whatever you can basically put your arms out to, and I'll show you how it is. So you're going to get into the kneeling position about 1.5 to 2 feet away from the chair, and you're just going to reach out, put your arms here, and make sure when you're doing this you have good posture too. Your chin is back, your core is tight. Reach towards the chair, put your hands on the chair, and you're just going to sit down onto your heels. So when you sit down onto your heels, once you get that, you'll feel that stretch along your lower back. And what I want you to do from here is go down a little bit further. So you'll feel that stretch on your arms, on your upper back, and then come back up. So that's basically what it is stretching, okay? All the way from your upper back down to your lower back. The sitting, you're gonna feel the stretch on your lower back again. And then once you reach out further, you're going to feel the stretch on your upper back here. And it helps to work out in loose clothing. My shirt here is slightly tight under my armpits here, so it's a little bit harder for me to do. But just to show you, that's how the exercise is. And again, with this one, you want to hold for 3 to 5 seconds and maybe do 10 to 15 times. Again, doing it on your account as far as the pain level goes and as far as how much you can do. All right, so this next exercise is called the Y, T, and W's. So it's 3 exercises put together in one. Now this exercise is gonna focus on strengthening your upper back muscles, your your trapezius muscles and your rhomboid muscles. Now, a lot of times those muscle with poor posture, they get stretched out and they get weakened. So with the rounded upper back, you get this rounded shoulder like this, right? So that stretches the muscles. So we need to strengthen that, and then help pulls out back the shoulders, and you'll feel that working a lot when you're doing this exercise. So I'm going to show you this exercise using an exercise ball, okay? And you can do this on the ground without this. Just make sure you roll up a towel and put it on your forehead so you have a little bit of breathing room. So the reason why it's called YTMWs is because you're forming those letters with your body. So I'll show you when you do this, make sure your thumbs are up, okay? So this is how it looks like. Y, T, and W. So when you do this, I know I'm looking up, but you want to make sure that you're not straining your neck and you keep your head down, okay? Or look down on the floor. But not like this. Keep your head up. Keep your good posture when you're doing this as well too. Again, this is Y, T, and W. And again, you're going to be holding each of these for 2 to 3 seconds and for about 10 to 15 reps, okay? So this can tire your upper back pretty fast. So again, do this by holding it 1 second if you need to, or if you can do more, then you do more. All right. So the fifth exercise that you want to do is called the bridge. Basically, that exercise is going to work your muscles of your glutes and your hamstring. So this is how it looks like. You're going to be laying on your back, your foot flat on the ground, bent at about 90 degrees. And before you start, you want to tighten your core, okay? So I know some people, they have a hard time trying to tighten the core. Just imagine someone trying to punch you in your stomach. It's punch you in the gut here, and you're just bracing for that. So that's a good way of trying to keep your core tight. So I'm gonna do that, brace my core, and also I'm gonna roll my hips a little bit forward. So if you just relax like this, your hips roll backwards. So you want to roll them forward. So I'm gonna roll them a little bit forward here, and I'm just gonna push up. When I push up, I'm using my glutes and I'm using my hamstring. So I'm gonna get to where my chest is flat along with my quads here. So I'm just gonna hold this for about 3 to 5 seconds, depending on your level. You might want to hold it a little bit longer or less, and then you're just gonna come back down. So you're gonna do that about 10-15 times. And one thing to note too, I'm kind of doing this on my heel, but when you're starting out, you want to do it flat-footed. It's a lot easier compared to on your heel. So if you do it flat-footed, there's less strain on your hamstring and your glutes here. And also remember, make sure you're squeezing your glutes, squeezing your hamstring, and then just come back down and relax. So that completes the 5 exercises that's gonna really help your posture. Now, one thing to remember is with posture, it took you a long time to get into that bad posture, and it's gonna take you some time to get out of it. But if you do it daily, it's gonna help improve your posture tremendously. So if you like the content that I put out, give me a like and also subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be having more videos coming out, and thank you.